Hello everyone. So in this video we are going to write the backend for our GraphQL application, that is a log site. So in the last video we discussed about what is GraphQL. If you haven't watched the video, then you can find a link in the description. You can go ahead and watch it first and then move further. So for now let's write the backend. I have my file explorer open. Inside of this I am going to create a new folder and I am going to name it as GraphQL server. Inside of this folder I am going to open my VS Code. You can open your favorite code editor. Mine's happen to be VS Code, so I am using that for this project. And let's open the terminal. Inside of this I am you can open that using control plus tilde or command plus tilde. Tilde is just below your escape key. Inside this I'm going to do npm init. Npm init just initialize just a node project inside of a folder. Hyphen yes to mark it all yes. As you can see, it created a package.json file. It doesn't contain much of the stuff, only some name version that we don't have to care much about. And now let's install some things. I'm going to use yarn for installing. So yarn add nodemon, that will help us to run our server. Then babel CLI, then babel preset env, babel preset space 0. We will be using babel, so basic babel stuff. And one more thing, this all will go into the dev dependency, so we will be using -dev. The flag -dev helps us to install all the packages inside the dev dependency. Sorry, I forgot that. Now that we are done with installing the dev dependency, you can see in the package.json everything is installed. Now let's install some more dependencies. Yarn add, we will be using express, then obviously GraphQL, then express GraphQL as well, and then we will be also installing CORS, because we will be also writing the front end, and so we need it. And UUID, you can use nano id, but I am using UUID. This will get into the main dependency, so we don't need to have -dev flag in this case. This won't also take much time, and it is installed. CORS, express GraphQL and UUID. Then we are going to create a file and name it as index.js. This will be our main entry point, but first let's write the script that will help us to run. So by default it comes as test. We are going to make it start. Inside of this we are going to write nodemon ./index.js, that points to the index.js file that we created just now, and exec, then babel node -js, some basic babel stuff. Then we are going to do npm start. You can do yarn start, npm start, anything. And our index.file is ready. Let's just we simply console.log to check whether it's working or not. Hello world, and we can see hello world, so it's working. So in this, first of all, we are going to create express server. So we are going to import express from express. Then we are going to create an app from express, and now to start listening at a port, we are going to add app.listen, but first let's create a port. Port is equals to, for now it's we will be keeping it as 8080, or it can take it from the environment variables. If we are deploying it in anywhere, it will be taking it from the environment variables. So it is 8080. If the environment variables are present, then it will take from that env dot port, otherwise it will be 88. So let's just pass it in the port. Then app.listening will be taking a callback function, and in the callback function we will be simply console logging something, and started listening at port, and literals I'm using. So console.log started listening and port 88, it will show in the log. If I can show you here. So next, what we will be doing is we will be writing our schema for our GraphQL application. So for that, let's create a new file, schema.js, and inside of this we are going to import something from GraphQL. And what comes from GraphQL? That is build schema. So build schema is imported from GraphQL, and let's create a schema equals build schema. Build schema will take a parameter that will be the schema. So as you know, we will be creating a blog site, so we will be creating a schema for our blog. So this type blog. So what type blog is it will be creating a blog type, and in the blog type we will be having certain fields like id will be having the type of id, like id, string, int, boolean. These are the predefined types by GraphQL. So we will be using id, then we will be using title, and make sure to put no comma. Title we will be having a type of string. Then description also will be having the type of string. Then we have some author. So in the author we will be creating a new type of user defined type for author. Let's say author, and we have to define the type author. So type author with a pair of parentheses, with a pair of curly braces. And what are the fields that we need? Sorry, I made a mistake. It will be colon, not equals. Sorry, it is colon. It is just like JSON, but no commas and stuff. So type author will be having a name and an age. So name will be of type string, and age will be of type integer. We don't have number, we have integer in GraphQL, number is there in TypeScript, but yep. So the two uh, types already, the blog and the author. So as we discussed in the last video, we do mainly two operations. The first one is query and the second one is a mutation. So query is like a get method, so you get something from the backend, and mutation is like post, put, delete, everything else. So we will be writing a query, type query, and type query we will be having some methods, like for example get blogs. So what get blog will do is it will be returning us a list of blogs or an array of blogs. So array of blog it will be returning, and this refers to what type of data it returns. This is the name of the query, and it is a function. We are not we are not giving a parenthesis because it is not taking any parameter. Let's say if I want to get data of a single blog, then I can use a parenthesis, and I can write an ID because it will take an ID, and from that ID it will be searching from the database, and it will be returning a blog. So what will be returning? It will be returning a blog. In case of get blogs, we are returning an array of blogs, but in case of get blog, we will be returning a single blog. So that's done. Then what we want to write next? The next thing is mutation. So mutation, type mutation, and in case of type mutation, we are going to create new blog. So we will be writing create blog, and create blog will take an input. And what is the type of input that it will be taking? Let's define that. We haven't defined any type for input, so let's make it as blog input. And then what will be returning after creating? Let's say we return a blog again. So if you ask the backend to create a blog for you, it will store in the database and it will return the same blog to you. So let's create input type for it. So blog input. So it is not, so inputs are not of type, it will be of input. So the keyword used over here will be not type, it will be of input. So blog input, so blog input will be containing everything that we have over here, so we can simply just copy it and paste it. So in case if you want to make any field compulsory, like you want that the title will be compulsory, then you can use exclamation sign over here, but we are not doing this for now. Let's do it. Okay, so next we have the author. The author won't be of type author, it will be of type author input. The same goes for author as well. We will be creating a type input for it. So author input, and then author input will be also having this same thing, that is the name and the age. So let's make the name as a compulsory field, and we are pretty much done with our schema. So let's revise what we have done. We have created a type blog that will be having the following fields, and the following field will be of type ID, string, and author, and also type author. Then we have a type Q, and we have queries. So we have basically two queries. The first one is blogs, which will be returning array of blog. Then we have get blog that will be taking in an ID as a parameter and will be returning a specific blog. Then we have mutations. In mutation we have only one mutation, that is create blog. So what the create blog will do is it will take in input, then it will store in your database and it will return the same blog to you. and the blog and the input will be of type blog input, which have the following fields, and author will be of type author input, and the author input have the following types. So let's just export it. Export default and schema, I guess. Yep, it is of schema. Schema. So we are done with the schema, and let's select resolve resolvers. And what resolver will do is, like, you have this function create blog, get blog, and get blogs. So in the resolver we will be having all the functions defined, like what the create blog will do, what the get blogs will do. That thing we will be writing in the resolver. So let's import something. So const let's not input something, let's create a class of blog. You can use functional way of doing stuff, but I am using the class based approach over here. So I created a class of blog, then I will be using a constructor, and inside of the constructor I will be taking in the ID, then I will be taking the title, then what else, a description. Let's see what we have. We have a title, description, and author. So title, description, and author. Then inside the constructor we are going to assign everything. So this the ID is called ID, then this dot title is equal to title, this dot description is equal to description, this dot author is equal to author. So now the blog class is created. So what so for this video we are not going to use any database, like we are not going to use MongoDB, PostgreSQL, nothing. We will be storing everything in a local object. So for that we are creating a class of blog. So what input we get, we will be storing that inside of the we will be creating an object of type blog. So the blog will be then stored in that object, and we so the object will be acting as a database. So we will be creating that object now. So let's name it as blog database. Let's spell it correct. So blog database is an object that will be storing everything. Now let's write the resolvers. So the resolver is basically an object, and inside the object we will be having multiple functions. So the first function that is coming from the schema is create blog. So let's create a blog, and the create blog will be taking an input and is a function. So we have this, and where this input is coming from, the input is coming from here. So if I name it as, let's say, Spider-Man, then inside over in the resolver I will have to use Spider-Man, but it is input, some naming convention. So first we are going to create an ID using UUID version. So let's first import the UUID. So const something we will be requiring from UUID, and we will be importing the version 4 from here, and we will be importing it as UUID v4, and then we will be creating an ID by calling the UUID v4 function. That it will generate a unique ID and give it to us, and we will be storing that block database, the key of the key will be id and the value will be input that we are getting from the front end or from the user, and then we will be returning a new blog. New blog will be taking the id as well as the input. So I think the create blog is done. Now the next thing that is coming is the query, that is get blog and get blog. So we will be first doing it for get blogs. So get blogs won't take any parameter, it is just a function, and it is going to return a array of blocks. So let's just create a array of blocks. Then we are simply going to traverse through the array, traverse to the blog database object, and we are going to store that stuff in the blocks, and then we will be returning the blogs array. So for that we will be using a for loop. So it is a for off loop. So const it will be giving a key and a value, that is id, and it is input, or let's say blog of object dot entries of blog database. So object dot entries returns a key and a value, so we are traversing through that. So we have to create a new blog is equal to new blog. We're taking the id and the blog, and then we are going to push that into our blog. Sorry, it is dot push. And we are going to return, sorry for the typos, we are going to return blogs. And so the get blogs are also done. What it is doing is it is creating a blogs array, then it is okay. So I made a typo over here, so let's fix that. So we are creating a, so this is like using the same variable, this blog and this blog, so I made it at underscore blog. So it is fixed. So this blog, the new blog will take the parameter as id and a blog. So the id is coming from here and the blog is coming from here. Then the blog variable is created, and the blog variable is underscore blog variable is passed into the array, and that is returning as the blogs. Okay, cool. So let's create the function get blog, that is coming from the schema, that is get blog, and the get blog will be taking a parameter of id, and it is a function. Then it is going to get the blog from the blog database as the key, as it is stored, the key is id, so it can easily get the value from here. Then it will return a new blog, id and blog. So what the get blog is doing is it is creating it is getting the blog from the blog database by using the id that is passed, then it is returning the blog. So I think we are done with the resolvers for now. So let's first export the export resolver, export default resolver, and save it, and it's done. So inside of the index.js file, we are now going to do the main stuff. So as we discussed in the last video, the GraphQL uses a single endpoint, so we will be using app.use. The single endpoint, we will be naming it as GraphQL, and we are going to create GraphQL HTTP. So from where the GraphQL HTTP is coming from, it is getting imported from Express GraphQL, and the GraphQL HTTP will be taking some parameters. The first thing it will basically take an object, and inside the object we will passing schema. So the schema will be imported from this. So let's make it schema. So the schema is getting imported from schema./schema. Then we are going to pass in the root value. So the root value is basically the resolver. So let's create a variable naming it as root is equal to resolvers. So from where the resolver is coming from, it is getting imported from the resolver file that we wrote. So the root value will be root. Then we will be using a GraphQL. So the GraphQL is a it is a tool that is used to test our API or run our API in the browser itself by listening to the by going to localhost 8080/GraphQL. We will be getting a GraphQL interface that we can use to write our query, mutation, everything. We don't like we do in the case of Postman in REST API. So we don't need any Postman. The GraphQL will do everything for us. So GraphQL, I have to turn the flag true so that we can see it over there. So what else now? So I think I have some bug over here. Okay, I think I forgot to write the babelrc file dot babelrc. Sorry, I forgot to write the babelrc. So the presets will be nv and stage O, stage Z. So let me just restart the server. Okay, so we have some bugs again in schema. So bugs are a part of development. Input author. Okay, the build schema, type query, type mutation, listens. Okay. Author input. Oops, so this is author input. So this is a small typo that I made. So I think it will be all good now. Or yeah, good. So let's open our browser first of all. So let me open my browser. In the browser, let's go to port 8080. We have nothing in 8080, so let's go to 8080/GraphQL, and we get the GraphQL. So in the GraphQL, we can go to query and we can see the blog thing over here. So first, if I run this query, it is going to get us a empty array because we don't have anything in the database. So let's write a mutation for it. So the mutation, you can use this document explorer to see what mutation it has. It has a mutation, let me zoom it a bit. So it has a mutation of create blog. So the create blog will be taking in the input as blog input. So what are the fields that we have and what will be returning, so we can say everything from it. So the mutation will be create blog. So create blog will be taking input, and okay, so we are taking input, and in the input we are going to name some field like title. The blog title is gonna be blog 1. Then we have a description, and in the description let's write something. What else we have? We have author, so let's write that as well. Author, and the author we are going to name the right, that is gonna be my name, and my age 16, 17. Actually I turned 17 yesterday only, so let's write 17. And create blog is returning something, so we need to take care of that as well. So what that is, okay, the create blog is returning us the blog, so we need to see what we have to get. Let's say I only need to get the ID. Let me run it. Let's take an ID as well as the title. So if I run it, it is creating a blog. It is returning me the ID and the blog name. Let's say I want to create another blog, something interesting, and I only need the ID and the description, only the ID and description, and I run it. Then I will get the ID that is different from the previous one, and I am only getting description. So this is what GraphQL is meant for, like you get what you actually need. So if I don't need the title, if I don't need the author details, then I won't get it. I will only get what I asked for. So in this case I asked for ID and description, so I get that only. So as the mutation part is done, we have created 2 blocks. So let's do the query part. So in the query we have 2 queries. First one is the blog, the second one is get blog and get blocks. So let's write the query. So query get blogs and the get blogs. Okay, but it's giving me an error, I don't know. Okay, got it. The query will be taking in curly braces, not parentheses. So query, then we have get blogs. So the get blogs, we will be only getting the titles of the blogs. So we get an array of blogs with only the title. Let's say I also want the ID, so I get the ID. Let's say I also want the author details, and the author is an object. So from the author we want let's say only the age. Then I get only the author age. Let's say I only want the author name. I only get the author name. Let's say I want all the fields, so that's a description and everything. So I get just everything. So for the case of our blog site, in the home page, in the feed section, we only want the ID, the title, and the name of the author. So that is what we will be getting. This is what we get. So in case of blog, it will be taking in an ID. So I will be copying this ID for further reference and storing it here. This is not the perfect place to store, but it will work. So get blog, and it's not it is sensitive, but it is not like indented. Just like Python, you can indent it anywhere. Just for the sake of beautification, I am indenting it, but it's of no need. So the ID that will be passing from here is coming from here. So ID, then we will be getting something. What will be needing? We will be, let's say I want the title. So it is only returning the title. We are passing the ID of the particular blog. It is taking in the ID and returning us only the title. Let's say I also want to get a description, so it will give me the description, only the description and title and nothing much. So with this, I think we are done with our backend. We tested all the methods that we have. The query we had two, so we tested the two. Then in case of mutation, we had a create blog mutation, we tested that also. So in the next video, we will be using React.js to write the front end of our application. So if you like the video and learn something from it, then make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel to get further notifications. Thank you.
Just watch me breaking.